What's the one thing when you say we need Donald Trump? What's the thing
He
you
was an excellent leader. He put in he made lots of changes that really got our country moving. And these Democrats are ruining our country. They're just hell bent on turning this country into a communist country.
Communism, really? Republicans hear affordable health care and improved education and infrastructure and women's rights, and all they hear is communism.
and where do you see that you're talking about evidenced in the last few years?
Trying to go to socialism. Well, let me think about that because there's lots of things, but all the regulations, big government. I mean, the government just keeps getting bigger. Hiring IRS agents to go after we, the people, we, the taxpayers that work to support the lazy Democrats that refuse to work. And that's why we need Donald Trump. Everybody in this country needs to work.
Oh, it's socialism. Okay, got it. And because I presume she pays taxes, she is also a socialist?
What has he done to improve our country? What has Joe Biden done to improve our country?
I'm
He's
not.
destroying our country. He's destroying our economy. You can bring up the jobless thing, but our country is being destroyed.
Can you get
From
more
within.
specific? Though I mean, I'm just asking because I'm not. I have no horse in the race. I'm just asking what it is specifically.
I don't know. I'm not well spoken enough to tell you that.
Not well spoken. I thought she was quite eloquent when she said Joe Biden was turning us into a communist country, but suddenly she's not well spoken enough to say how he's turning us into a communist country. Maybe it's best you just not speak at all if you don't want to answer these difficult questions.
You're saying he's destroyed the country. How has he destroyed the
The
country?
open border is the main thing. Yes, and his liberal policies and these liberal Democrat judges that are letting criminals out on our streets that are, nobody's held accountable when they break the law. Stores are closing because of all the violence. They're terrible.
Yeah, you gotta love these close the border Republicans because they're afraid to lose their jobs to a non-English speaking individual. Do I have to further paint the picture as to how obscenely contradictory that is? They fancy themselves free market capitalists, but they're worried about losing their jobs. Do I have to spell it out any clearer? They fancy themselves free market capitalists, but they're afraid to lose their jobs. They are anti-union and they're afraid of losing their jobs. They're afraid of their job security. Close the borders, I can't lose my job, to somebody who doesn't speak English. Yet, I'm also a free market capitalist who believes that America is the greatest country on earth because we are the land of opportunity, and if you just work hard, you can achieve anything. But me, at my big old age, has not managed to learn how to secure a job and defend that job against somebody that doesn't even speak English. Yes, America, the land of opportunity. Like, these people are, here's the thing. They're not crazy. They just don't like abortion, or brown people, or queer people. Trans people scare the crap out of them because they don't understand them. And that's why their so-called leaders throw out terms that are scary, like communism and socialism, so that they don't actually know why they're against healthcare for all. How could you possibly be against healthcare for all unless you're told that's communism and communism is bad, right? That's why when she's asked to explain, well, how has he ruined the country? Give me one example. She's like, oh, suddenly not eloquent enough to speak, despite the fact that she's just done a 5-minute interview, give or take. Listen, here's the thing. Republicans are brilliant with their messaging. They know their audience and they speak to their audience. Democrats, take note. Liberals and leftists, take note. I mean, pro-life? That sounds amazing. I want to be pro-life. We're just like, I'm pro-choice. Pro-life is a much better slogan, you've got to admit. And capitalism, lift yourself up by your own bootstraps, take personal responsibility. These are all good things in one's personal life. I have 2 young children, and I'll be teaching them to take personal responsibility. But I am not running a country. If I'm paying taxes, I don't want to hear you lecture me about personal responsibility. I want to hear you tell me what you can do for me because I am paying you. And yet somehow these Republicans have their audience, their fan base, their base convinced that if they ask for anything, that they're weak-minded communists or socialists. The world is literally upside down for them. Or maybe it is for us, and I'm just the dummy. Who knows? Anyway, thank you for listening to me tonight, or today, whenever they publish this video. I'm David Balaban for Rebel HQ.